Nothing's gonna stop the rhino. He's fearless and unstoppable with nerves made out of steel. Head down, straight ahead, no matter how.
Hello, this is Bob Quillen coming to you from Bryan, Ohio, the great state of Ohio, where we only have 65 days of sunshine. Well, I just wanted to shout out real quick and give everybody a quick testimony that hopefully will be helpful. From a business owner's point of view, what can the team concept and the launching a leadership revolution with Chris and Orrin do for a conventional business? I was introduced to Chris and Orrin and the leadership revolution back in the fall of 2007 when I went to a national leadership convention down in Louisville, Kentucky. At that time, they were promoting their new book, their bestseller book, Launching a Leadership Revolution. I indulged in that book, I studied that book, I dissected that book, and I learned a lot about what I was doing and why I was doing it wrong. Probably the thing that hit home with me the most was the trilateral leadership. And it exposed me, coming from the Marine Corps, I was probably operating my company more as a dictator than an actual leader or servant leader, as they call it. So learning about relationships, I thank God for the system, and I thank God for the books that have helped me grow in that area, because I really needed to grow in that area. I got really excited about what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong, and so I incorporated a new motto in our company. We are a home improvement company, and we focus on selling replacement windows. And I created a new motto, I guess you could say. When I introduced this to my company, I said, from here on out, we're no longer going to focus on home improvement. Instead, we're going to focus on self-improvement. And that's exactly what we did. We started setting goals together as a company, as a staff, with all of our employees in the 5 F's of life, you know, the faith, the family, the fitness, the finances, the fun. And we started holding each other accountable in those areas. And we started reading books and listening to CDs and gathering information and researching information that could help us grow in those areas. Does it work? Well, you know, it's funny because for about 4 years I was stagnated to a level where I was going up maybe 100,000, maybe coming down 100,000, but within $100,000 of each year in what I call stagnation mode. I really wasn't growing. I really wasn't decreasing, if there is such a word. I was actually maintaining. And so I was frustrated and didn't know how to take the company to the next level, especially in the economy that we've been faced with since 2007, 2008. And so what we did is we incorporated Chris and Orrin's principles into our company. We started studying as a team, studying as a group, and how it helped us personally is in 2009, our company grew 15% in sales with less salespeople. In 2010, we grew 16%, and in 2011, we're on pace to have a banner year once again. Now, why did I embrace this change so much? Because it's very simple. In my opinion, is the economy bad? Absolutely. Are times tough right now? You betcha. Is every business owner out there looking for a way to get an edge? I hope so. And my mentality had to change from being bitter to getting better. And so I challenged all my team members, hey, let's get better, not bitter. We can't control certain things out there, but here's what we can control. We can control our growth, we can control our attitude, we can control who we associate with, we can control our mindset and what we're going to get better at, so that when the pendulum does swing and the time does change, we will be more equipped to get a bigger piece of the market share out there. And so I'm a firm believer that through the growth process that we've had here at Quillen Brothers, when the time changes, we're either going to launch into a bigger and better company, not just the 106th largest in the United States and the top 5 in Ohio, but we're looking to make the top 100 no problem at all. You know, this was really important to me because one of my mentors, Greg Johnson, has always said, he said, Bobby, he said, change is inevitable. It's going to happen with you or without you, with your permission or without your permission. You can't do anything to stop it. But growth is optional. And so you've got to focus on what you can control and let the world focus on what it controls. Some of the pros from a business owner's viewpoint, I guess you could say, that I've seen through following this team system and incorporating the principles and the systems and the learning culture and the self-improvement culture into my conventional business. One of the first pros that I noticed right away was my learning curve and my employee retention. Employee retention is a very expensive obstacle that I think a lot of businesses face. And so by implementing these ideas and these principles into our business, we may lose one employee a year, but that would be about it. It's pretty much minimal. And so that has saved us a tremendous amount of money when it comes to our training and our replacing of the people and the learning curve involved in that. Probably the biggest thing that I noticed, though, was the higher morale. People actually enjoy coming to work here. They're getting taught principles that they're not being taught anywhere else. They actually feel like they're part of a plan or part of a purpose larger than themselves. And they understand what we're shooting for and why we're trying to grow. And so the higher morale has definitely been an intangible. People are getting fed information here and a culture here and an environment here that they're not getting fed at home. They're not getting fed anywhere else in the business world or through their family or friends. And so they actually look forward to some of the meetings that we do have here. Probably the biggest one that I really noticed, though, and it's probably the most personal, is I finally feel that I'm actually at a point where I'm taking my gifts and talents that God blessed me with, and I'm using those and I'm investing those in people. And we're making a difference in our employees' lives, because I see tremendous growth in each and every one of our employees that we have. I see them growing in ways that I never thought they could grow, or at speeds I never thought they could, grow at. Fitness has always been a big part of our preaching around here, I guess you could say, our teaching sessions. And with that, we had an employee last year that lost over 50 pounds, and I worked with him personally, and it was quite a victory to see that. We also, this year, we had an employee that, his goal is to lose weight and become more fit. And so I started working with him in Labor Day time frame this year, and he's already lost 34 pounds since Labor Day. And so when you're making a difference in people's lives and they actually know that you care about them as people, not just as a social security number or a person or a paycheck, and they actually say, hey, this employer cares about me as a person, then they fight harder, then they try harder. I believe that in order for any business to be successful, there's 4 things you got to have. You got to have the right plan. Now, we all know that Chris and Orrin have blazed the trail for us to follow, and the plan works. I mean, how in the world do you get to become the number 7 leadership guru in America, be the only one in the top 25 to duplicate himself, with the number 12 leadership guru in America following him? Obviously, the plan works. The right time. I believe right now is probably the right time. If not now, when? If not this, what? What else can you do in corporate America to fight the inevitable, to fight the economy, to fight, the intangible things that we don't have control over? And so I feel that the timing of this business and what it teaches and the principle-based leadership that it teaches is perfect for anybody that actually wants to grow as a company. You got to have the right people, and we already know we have the right people with the leadership of the time. And of course, then you have to have the right systems. You have to have systems in place that monitor growth, that hold people accountable and monitor accountability. And so from a business perspective, I love this business. I love what it stands for. I've built my company around these principles, and it's working for me. Can I guarantee success for you? Obviously not, because everybody's different, every culture's different, every demographic's different, every group's different. But you, if you're a prospect or you're a business owner or you're involved in the business, get in these books, get in these CDs, get in these meetings, and just challenge yourself on personal growth and see where your company takes you. I want to thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
He rises to the call, perfectly prepared for any challenge, great or small.
There is no other species that worries him in the least. He's the king of his surroundings, the strongest of all beasts.
Him like glue. When you're running with the rhinos, you'll be a rhino too.